Hello dear fans. History of Azerbaijan from ancient times to the present day. Azerbaijan is a unique country that combines several nationalities and cultures. This is a country that knows how to surprise with its contrasts. However, the formation of Azerbaijan as a separate country took place over many centuries, therefore it managed to absorb the culture of many generations. A country with a long history and unique traditions is located in the southeastern part of the Caucasus. Its name is Azerbaijan. Over the centuries, a huge number of events took place there that influenced the course of the history of this country. Let's try to restore the time course of the Republic of Azerbaijan, starting with the history of the emergence of the country, and ending with today. Where is Azerbaijan located? As already mentioned, the Republic of Azerbaijan is located in the east of the Caucasus. It has a rather advantageous political location, since it borders with Russia in the north, with Georgia in the northwest, and with Armenia in the west. The eastern part of the country is washed by the Caspian Sea. History of the formation of Azerbaijan. The proximity of the sea to the country's borders played an important role in the development of Azerbaijan. According to historical data, a person's stay on the territory of modern Azerbaijan dates back more than 1.5 million years ago. Therefore, we can say that Azerbaijan was inhabited at the dawn of the development of civilization. The most significant territories inhabited by Neanderthals are the Azak and Taglar caves. The primitive population that lived in this territory constantly improved their skills. They very quickly mastered the elementary processing of copper and iron and learned how to make tools. More advanced tools appeared a little later, but they allowed primitive man to increase labor productivity. Soon, the gradual stratification of society led to the decline of the primitive communal stratum and the development of modern society. The state of Mana was in the center of the modern Republic of Azerbaijan. After the conquest of the ancient civilization by Persia, Atropatous ascended the throne and renamed the country to Media Atropatina. It is believed that Azerbaijan was named after him. Albanians became the first civilized population of Azerbaijan. They later split off and formed their own state. Later, the country was conquered by Armenia and Tigran II came to power. Together with him, Christianity spread in the country. Conquest by Arab countries. In the 7th century BC, an event happened that completely turned the history of the country. It is about the Arab conquest. At the beginning, the Arabs conquered the territories of Iran, and then began an offensive in the territory of Azerbaijan. Along with the conquest of the country, the Arabs began to introduce Islam into its culture. As soon as the first steps were taken, Azerbaijan was annexed to the Caliphate and the Islamization of the regions began. They soon achieved their goal. However, not all areas well received the eradication of Christianity. In 816, in the southeast of the country, an uprising of the population broke out, which was directed against Islam and the Arabs in general. The uprising was suppressed, but the domination of Islam was noticeably shaken. The caliphate weakened every year, and this led to the fact that the governors of the northern part of Azerbaijan gradually began to separate. The state existed until the middle of the 16th century, after which it was annexed to the Persian state of the Safavids. Turkization of the country. The constant invasions of the Turkic nomadic tribes into the territory also played a significant role in the development of Azerbaijan. But unlike Islamization, this process dragged on for several centuries. It is thanks to this that most of the population of the modern republic speaks the language and honors the culture, which is of Turkic origin. The first invasion took place in the 11th century. Oghuz tribes from Asia invaded the lands of Azerbaijan. The goal of the invasion was the complete conquest of the territory, so the conquerors destroyed everything in their path. This invasion was accompanied by huge population losses and the eradication of cultural property. During the conquest, the local population gradually mixed with the conquerors, adopting their language and culture. It is this new ethnic group that will later be called Azerbaijanis. The final formation of such a nationality as Azerbaijan occurs after the fall of the Hulaguid dynasty. For some time Azerbaijan becomes part of the state of Tamerlane, then passes to the Oghuz tribes and becomes a territorial part of the state of Akkoyunlu. Formation of Azerbaijan as a separate country. In the 15th century, the Koyanlı state disintegrated and a new Safavid state was formed on the territory of Azerbaijan. The city of Tabriz becomes the capital of the new state. Later she was transferred to the city of Isfahan. In 1795, a new Qajar dynasty of Turkic origin came to Azerbaijan. At that time, the country was divided into many small khanates, which were subordinate to the Iranian government. Accession of Azerbaijan to the Russian Empire. The first steps in the annexation of Azerbaijan to the Russian Empire were made even during the reign of Peter I. However, at that time, the power was not conquered. The situation was corrected only in the 19th century during the two Russian-Persian Wars. Azerbaijan was included in the Russian Empire. From that moment on, the histories of these two countries are inextricably linked. In 1893, he began to develop railway construction. In the same year, the first railway line was built, which connected Russia and Azerbaijan. The industrial development and deepening of Azerbaijan into the Russian economy very quickly gave a positive result. The country began to show economic independence and learn to manage money. Azerbaijan and the USSR. After the October Revolution, centrifugal tendencies began to develop in various regions of the former Russian Empire. And already in May 1918, the Azerbaijan Democratic Republic was established. However, the state could not exist separately for a long time, and already in 1920 it was liquidated. The next stage in the history of the country was the creation of the Azerbaijan SSR. The capital of this state was the city of Baku. But after the collapse of the USSR, the Azerbaijan SSR ceased to exist. Azerbaijan today. Azerbaijan has been striving for independence for many years of its existence and finally achieved it. The new state is now called the Azerbaijan Republic. Currently, the president of the country is Ilham Aliyev. He received a leading position in 2003. At the moment, Azerbaijan has several problems that the government is trying to deal with. One of them is the Karabakh conflict, which has been going on since the collapse of the USSR. Azerbaijan is trying to achieve the annexation of the Republic of Artsakh, which it considers its own for a long time. However, the local population in every way prevents this. The government is trying with all its might to resolve this long-standing conflict. The history of the state, in which people of various nationalities coexisted for centuries, is just beginning. The country, at this stage in history, is completely independent and sets itself great goals. The Azerbaijani government plans to further develop the oil and gas industry. During his recent visit to Baku, the president mentioned Azerbaijan's readiness to start building a nuclear power plant. Many experts in this field question the logic of this idea, but the president is confident of its success. Thanks for watching.